you're doing conservation in this part of the world, you're always limited with resources, and that's financial resources and also limited capacity.
The state governments, they're strapped financially.
We were always dependent on outside partners to be finding the help that we need.
Communities have to be involved at the beginning, at the outset. Otherwise, it's all externally driven, and when the funding's gone, the momentum is gone as well.
The Micronesia Conservation Trust is an organization that supports conservation by providing financing to local organizations.
When I started in 2004, we had like $30,000. It was myself and our finance officer, and that was it. We didn't know if we'd have a job in 8 months or not, and we didn't have any money to give away.
The point behind it was to establish a local Micronesian source of funding for the environment. The Packard Foundation in 2006 actually made the first grant to MCT so that it could learn what it means to be a grant maker.
We started with maybe $5,000 grants, $8,000 grants, really small grants to communities for their conservation. But now MCT is a fundraising and regranting organization. We provide sustainable funding for conservation in marine protected areas, and now we've kind of expanded into climate change adaptation.
When the fishermen requested that I help them to establish their own fishery monitoring, that's where Micronesia Conservation Trust came in, and really taking a risk on doing something that was so non-traditional.
To be partnering with MCT, it gives us great opportunity to learn what's happening in other parts of Micronesia to achieve our conservation goals.
The Micronesia Conservation Trust and all the other local organizations around Micronesia that are thriving and doing really good work.
And little tiny Pohnpei can have an impact in Guam, can have an impact in the Marshall Islands, can have an impact in Palau.
In 2006, President Remengesau of Palau, in response to the UN Convention on Biodiversity, made a challenge to himself for Palau and invited the rest of the Micronesia leaders to commit to effectively conserving 30% of our nearshore marine resources and 20% of our terrestrial resources by 2020.
A key component of the Micronesia Challenge is the development of what we call sustainable finance plans.
The Nature Conservancy and Conservation International put up $3 million apiece to seed an endowment fund.
Micronesia Conservation Trust plays the role of holding the money so that the resource can be used on the ground.
We feel that the Packard Foundation has helped us build a foundation for many of these organizations and mechanisms that are now permanent in Micronesia and are not going to go away.
In 2009, we put the final piece of legislation in place that allows the national government to collect a small fee at the airport. We call it the green fee.
That common fund is then used and managed by the Palau government towards the management of the country's network of marine protected areas.
That's our goal, is to create a situation where we can leave behind a savvy, robust set of actors who are asking the right questions and taking good actions.
And so it's become a sustainable movement in Micronesia, and there's no stopping it.